Hello, you are welcome in online series of machine design. Myself Navisha Goswami. So in this lecture we will discuss about classification of different types of lubricants. So these lubricants are used in basically sliding contact bearing. So we have already seen that what is sliding contact bearing. So sliding contact bearing is bearing where surface contact is occurred between your fixed element and your moving element. So that's we have already covered in last lecture. Okay, so sliding contact bearing. Okay, so there is surface contact, there is no point contact, and your line contact occur. Okay, so these type of bearing have high coefficient of starting friction. Next is your journal bearing, right? So we have already discussed that what is journal. Journal is that part of shaft which is actually inside of your bearing. For example, this is your bearing and that portion is only inside of your bearing. This is your shaft and this is your bearing. Okay, so that portion of shaft is only inside of bearing is known as your journal. Okay, so this is the type of journal bearing is basically type of your sliding contact bearing, and that part of shaft which is inside of bearing is known as your journal bearing, right? So you can see here first diagram indicates your sliding contact bearing and second one is rolling. So in rolling contact bearing we use some balls and rollers, so that we have already discussed. Okay, next is your basic properties of lubricant. So first is important properties of lubricant is your viscosity. Okay, so we know we use some lubricant between your moving element and between your fixed element. So fixed element is your outer portion and moving element is your inner one. Okay, so that is known as general. So viscosity is very important because due to viscosity we can reduce coefficient of friction or coefficient of starting friction. Okay, when we start or rotate machine or rotate shaft, so there may be friction may be there. Okay, so it is measure of degree of fluidity of the liquid. Okay, so how much or how fast it will move. Okay, so that define your viscosity. If viscosity is very high, so fluid will not move very fast. Okay, if viscosity is very less, then fluid we maybe move very fast. Okay, so it is also physical property by virtue of which an oil is able to form, retain and offer to resistant to shearing. Okay, because when any rotation may be there, any movement may be there, so shearing force may be generated. So viscosity is that property which resists your shearing action. Okay, under heat and pressure, because when operation may be carried out, so heat and pressure will be increases. Okay, so that property is very important. Okay, so for example, if A is your area of plate in contact with the lubricant, for example A area is we are considering that actually come in contact with your lubricant. Okay, so how much shear force may be given? So shear force is equal to pressure divided by area. Okay, or pressure force divided by area. So now we have to apply Newton's law of viscosity. Okay, so Newton's law of viscosity state that, okay, or you can first of all see this diagram, then I will explain the Newton's law of viscosity. Okay, so here you can see there one plate is moving inside of your boundary, some fluid. Okay, so that fluid may resist or may offer some shear forces. Okay, for example, this fluid is that plate is moving with the velocity of v with respect to distance y. Okay, so what is the velocity gradient? So velocity gradient is equal to du by dy. So this is the fundamental of your 2D diagram of your moving plate inside of your fluid. So what is Newton's law of viscosity? So Newton's law of viscosity states that shear stress is directly proportional to your velocity gradient. So this is very important fundamentals of Newton's law of viscosity. Okay, so what are the assumptions we made before starting any type of derivation? So Newton's assumed that lubricant completely fill the space between two surfaces. Two surfaces means one is your moving surface and another one is your stationary surface. And second one is the velocity of lubricant at each surface is same as that of the surface. Means we will consider velocity is constant throughout the surface. Okay. Now, so any flow of lubricant is perpendicular to velocity of plate is negligible. So we will consider only horizontal direction. We will not consider your perpendicular component. Okay. So according to Newton's law of viscosity, shear stress is directly proportional to your velocity gradient. So what is shear stress? Shear stress is pressure divided by area. So that is directly proportional to velocity gradient is your du by dy. So by solving it, or when we will remove some proportionality constant, so here that will become, and z is known as your viscosity. Okay, so z is constant of proportionality and it is known as your absolute viscosity, or sometimes it is simply known as your viscosity of your lubricant. Okay, so now when the thickness of the fluid lubricant is very small, so in this case the velocity gradient is nearly constant. So we will consider u by y. Okay, so du by dy is equal to u by y. So what is second property is your oiliness, and next one is your density. So what is oiliness? So oiliness, it is a joint property of lubricant and your bearing surface in contact. Okay, so it measures the lubricant qualities under boundary condition where base metal to metal is prevented only by adsorbed film. Okay, so there is no absolute measure. So we can just feel your lubricant. Okay, and that is also used to separate out your contact surfaces. Okay, so you can there is no direct physical there is no absolute measurement, but you can feel it by touching you the wire, so you can feel the oiliness. Okay, if it may be thicky one, right? So you can directly physically you can check it. Okay, so what is density? Density, this is a property and there is no relation to the lubricant. Okay, but it is in density there is this values no relation between the lubricant means, but why we have to discuss density? Because it is useful to convert your kinematic viscosity to your absolute viscosity. So for conversion, density is very important. In physical manner, you can say that mass per unit volume is known as your density. So it is given by kg per meter cube. Okay, so absolute viscosity is equal to density into kinematic viscosity. So this is generally used for your conversion purpose. Next is your viscosity index. So what is viscosity index? So term viscosity index generally used to denote the degree of variation of your viscosity with your temperature. Means the change of viscosity, degree of you can say that change of viscosity with respect to temperature and pressure is known as your viscosity index, because during if temperature will be increased, so your viscosity may be decreases. Okay, so it is known as your viscosity index. Next is your flash point. So what is flash point? So flash point, it is lowest temperature where oil gives off sufficient vapor to support a momentary flash, but actual burning will not start. Okay, so this is known as flash point. Next is your fire point. So fire point is a point where at temperature where actually burning of your fuel will be started, so that known as your fire point. Next is your pour point or freezing point. Okay, so pour point or freezing point, this is the temperature where oil stop flow when it is cool. Okay, when we will cool your cooling process may be there, so it sees the flow of your oil. So it is known as your pour point or your freezing point. So it was the property of lubricant: viscosity, viscosity index, flash point, fire point, pour point, density. Okay, and kinematic conversion of kinematic viscosity into dynamic viscosity or simple viscosity. Okay, so it was all about your properties of lubricant. So so we have already seen that viscosity is play very important role in sliding contact bearing. So that is very important, and properties of lubricant is also very important. Okay, thank you. Keep watching.